I installed this PACKOUT wall with very little issues, and I learned these things during the build. Planning, measuring, and the layout matter way more than people think. And once you understand how the system works, carries weight, and scales over time, it becomes clear why the Milwaukee PACKOUT system is a way better choice than traditional wall storage. So these are the 10 things I wish I knew before installing the Milwaukee PACKOUT Wall System. And at the end, I'll show you the #1 key decision that will give you the smoothest installation and maximize the space that you have.
Let's get to work.
All right, first thing, planning the layout is the real install. The reason that this install went so smoothly is because most of the work happened before the drill ever came out. Milwaukee has a fantastic little tool on their site called the Wall Plate Builder, and it is a total game changer for building the ultimate PACKOUT wall. I'll put a link to the tool in the description and pin it in the comments. I highly suggest you check that out after watching this video, of course. You can plug in the dimensions of your space, add plates, and add any PACKOUT product in their entire lineup on the wall. So you can see how it fits, where to get it, and best of all, you can export the file with a full product list so you'll never forget what you designed and what went where. So I approach this design based on how I actually work, not just what looks good on the wall. PACKOUT is vertical, horizontal, and totally modular. So every decision affects what comes next. I do wish I had known just how important this step was going in, because once you understand it, the install itself becomes pretty straightforward. All right, thing number 2, precise measuring is everything. One of the major reasons people struggle with one of these systems is skipping this step. So after designing my whole system on the Wall Plate Builder tool, I mocked up the entire setup with painter's tape, just to make sure it would fit exactly where I wanted it to. So I measured from the floor in multiple places, marked reference lines, and used a long level across the entire wall. If you do have a laser level, this would be a perfect project to break it out for. And pro tip for you, take the most amount of time on the very first panel, because if you get that one even just a little bit wrong, it's off level or it shifts a little bit, it's only gonna expand as you go along. So be extra careful when you're measuring and make sure you take into account this, outlets. That's one thing I didn't do, and I had to end up moving the entire system up about 4 inches when I started mocking it out with painter's tape. Ended up being fine, but it's something that I didn't consider, and it would be devastating to have to cut into this beautiful panel with your oscillating multi-tool just to make it fit around an outlet.
You ruined it.
All right, thing number 3 that I wish I knew before I built this Milwaukee PACKOUT wall. Stud planning is what makes this system feel solid. Before finalizing anything, map out exactly where your studs are located, because that's gonna be your limiting factor in the entire system. The large wall plate here is rated at 150 pounds, but the caveat is you have to have 2 out of your 3 or more bolts buried into studs. If you only have one of these screws into a stud, your weight capacity is cut in half, which is kind of odd because this whole panel is only 31 inches long to begin with, so it means there's no way you could actually get 3 fasteners into a stud. No, I didn't need to purchase any of the small plates, but they do sell a smaller version with just a single stack instead of the 3 stacks that the large plate has. And the small plates can be rated at 50 pounds, and you need to have a minimum of 1 fastener into a stud. And when you're buying the system, make sure you buy the Gen 2 redesigned plates. This model is gonna have a perforated steel rail located across the entire length of the plate, top and bottom. So you're never gonna have to worry about hitting a stud in the correct position. You have total maneuverability and micro adjustability as well. The original wall plate had just a series of small holes spaced about 4 to 8 inches apart, which could work, but there was no maneuverability within that hole. Once that was dialed in, there was no adjusting it beyond that. And if you're installing this in a finished garage, absolutely do not use the recommended fastener from the Milwaukee wall plate instructions. Here's the 1.5 inch screw. It's not the one they recommend. This isn't a structural screw, but it's still 1.5 inch for reference. This is a 2.5 inch GRK, which is what I went with. Let me show you why it matters. If you had a full sink of 1.5 inch screw, look, okay, it would sit right there. That makes sense. 2.5 inch full sink, you got a lot of wood to bite onto, right? Let's say you're on 1.5. You account for the drywall, boom, you lose 1/2 inch. Account for the plate gap, boom, another 1/2 inch. What are you left with here? Not a whole lot of wood to grab onto, is it? Now let's line that up with a GRK. This is a 2.5 inch if it was flush to the wall. It leaves a 1/2 inch for the drywall, another 1/2 inch for the plate gap. The 2.5 inch net is gonna stop you right here. Now let me know in the comments, if this was your plate setup, would you feel more comfortable if you were sunk into this much stud or this much stud? All right, thing 4, structural mounting is why Milwaukee PACKOUT wall will always beat a pegboard. So traditional pegboard is gonna rely on hook and friction to secure your load. I've had a pegboard wall in the past, and it can be super frustrating to go and reach for that tool at the end of a hard day only to knock off the peg from the wall and have to pick it up or knock other ones off as well. Or worse, you bend over, get up, and you knock half the wall down. So unlike a pegboard wall, the Milwaukee accessories mechanically lock onto the wall. Let me show you how. This tilting tool organizer has a little lock in the back. You pull the lock, lift it up, and you're off. I'm gonna put it back on, locked in, look, doesn't move. Same with this one here, mechanical lock. It's not going anywhere. You want to take it off, unlock it, lift it up. Back in, locked. When mounting into studs or reinforced backer, this thing is super confidence inspiring. The only accessories that I found in the entire PACKOUT line that don't mechanically lock into the wall plate are these little bins. They just have a little lip, which honestly works fine. It's not the ideal solution, but I'm hopeful that they'll upgrade that going forward. And if you're considering any of the other options out there, like a traditional pegboard or even like an omni wall or one of those like fancy steel ones, every time you move something on the wall, up or down or pulling in or out, the little holes get friction wear on them. I had this on my last wall. I would pull something out of the wall, and over time, the holes would get bigger and bigger. So it's something to consider because I don't think that these cleats are gonna move at all. All right, thing number 5, why PACKOUT is a better long-term storage idea than pegboard. So pegboard absolutely has its place. It's inexpensive and it's great for handling light tools, but it also bends, shifts, and relies on gravity to behave. This PACKOUT here is a locking modular system. The accessories all click or lock into place. So weight is distributed evenly across the whole panel. Nothing falls when you grab a tool. I looked at a lot of those expensive steel versions, and even those still rely on gravity to hold those hooks and bins up. Don't get me wrong, pegboard does have its advantages. With all the holes that are on the setup, it has way more micro adjustability than this PACKOUT ever will. But it has a fatal flaw. It just relies on gravity to hold everything on. If I knock into it, if I get up and bump it, if I grab a tool wrong, the accessory might just fall right off the wall, or worse, your tool might just fall off the wall. And that's why I really didn't go for the steel ones anymore. It's something that Milwaukee has improved on, and I really see the advantages of their whole system. So the best part about this system is it's designed to hold virtually anything in the PACKOUT lineup. I have an absurd amount of Milwaukee products, and I tried them all to see how many of these would actually fit on the wall. 30-pound PACKOUT Jobsite radio? No problem. Large parts bin? No problem. Tilting parts organizer? You already know. Easy as pie. Wall cabinet? Easy. The only thing I did find that would not fit on this PACKOUT wall is this right here. It doesn't really engage. So small organizers, tool holders, battery holders, all those stuff work amazing on this wall. I found that the larger boxes and drawers are really better suited to the Milwaukee sliding rail racks. You can also customize those on their website. It's got a totally different, I think they've got a rack builder. So if you're a rich man, or maybe you can write it off on your taxes, yeah, go onto that rack builder on Milwaukee.com. Build yourself up something nice. But for the rest of us peons building a regular PACKOUT wall, knowing what fits where ahead of time will really make the wall feel intentional instead of overcrowded. Thing number 7, cost is manageable if you plan in phases. PACKOUT is not cheap, but it can be predictable if you plan in advance. Now, I bought this system on a bit of a whim. I was at Home Depot and they just happened to have a killer deal going on. I think it was called Buy More, Save More, where you spend $199, you got 50 bucks off. You spend $299, you get 100 off. And if you spend $399, you get 150 bucks off whatever you buy in the entire PACKOUT system, which is about 40%. So the next day I went over and did a little bit of a double dip at my local Ace because they had the same Buy More, Save More deal that Milwaukee had at Home Depot down there. So all in, I think this wall retail-wise should be about $850, which I got it for around $600. So I understand this is totally not in everybody's budget to just go below like 800 bucks on a wall setup. So instead of buying everything at once, I would actually start with just the panels because the panels are gonna dictate where everything else goes on the wall. I would recommend, if you could afford it, just to buy all the panels in one shot, just so you have the entire layout completely done. So this is another thing that I wish I'd known earlier because, like I said, I bought those few panels and a few accessories only to realize when I put them up that the wall really wasn't complete and I had to go back and buy round 2 of the products. All right, thing number 8, large tools require a different mindset. The wall plates are great for small tools and organization, but they really require more thought when you're putting up big, heavy items like these two here. It's gonna keep large tools secure and accessible without kind of forcing them into a system they weren't designed for. And I'll be honest, putting large tools on the wall was kind of a complete afterthought for me. But I do have a 12-volt saw and the 18-volt blower that I did manage to put on the 4-inch 15-pound hooks, and they're working great right now. So going forward, there are several companies on Etsy that are making some amazing things that integrate with this PACKOUT wall really well. They've got custom holders for blowers, saws, wrenches, pretty much everything you have big, there is some way to attach that to this wall here. But if you guys out there have tried one of these custom tools, shoot me a comment down below and let me know how you liked it, because I'd sure love to find out. All right, thing number 9, weight distribution on this wall makes it super easy to use. Although each of these panels can hold up to 150 pounds, they don't have to. This is engineered weight, so I bet they could probably hold a little bit more. So this is kind of my introductory setup for my wall. This is not complete by any means, but I do have larger items stored on the bottom. Most used items are gonna be at chest height, And then things that I can easily reach, like these blowers or drills here, are gonna be on the top. And this tool chest, although it is big, I did try to mount it lower once, but it just sticks out so far. I think it's about 14 inches out. It just looks really bad low. So if you do wanna pick one of these things up, know that if you put it low, chest level or lower, it's gonna look really weird and you could end up bumping it, ripping it off the wall. Aside from the tool cabinet, the weight distribution was pretty much planned from the start. So the wall feels balanced, safe, and fairly intuitive to use tools when they're laid out right. This is one of those details that separates a good wall from a great one. And number 10, the last thing on our list, and probably the most important. Planning makes changes unnecessary. This system could be your best friend or your worst enemy. Once the wall is already installed, changes can be a bit of a pain. But careful planning reduces the need to change anything at all. Draw it out on paper, use the Milwaukee Wall Builder tool, mock it up with painter's tape, measure and make reference lines. The point is, just do something. Plan, plan, plan. There's a well-known Brian Tracy phrase that goes something like this: 1 minute in planning saves 10 minutes in execution, and that is never more true than when building a Milwaukee PACKOUT wall. But do yourself a favor, do the planning and save those headaches for somebody else. So those are the 10 things that I wish I knew before installing my Milwaukee PACKOUT wall. Not because anything went wrong, but because knowing them all made everything just go right. So if you're deciding between PACKOUT and pegboard or planning your own wall install, hopefully this video helps you make the right call the first time. So when I'm done with this wall, if you want a full walkthrough of the exact layout or a deep dive into the best PACKOUT accessories, let me know in the comments down below. So I'm Mike, this is Nailed It, and until next time, keep on growing, keep on building, keep on nailing it.